4 Venezuelan military helicopters spotted over Ana Catarina at around 5:30 afternoon yesterday on the 1st of December, if I got you correct from the string of comments, because I did try to confirm when you saw it, and there's somebody else in the comments that confirmed that they saw 3 helicopters yesterday flying over our airspace. Let me tell you what else. I've been made to understand from some of my contacts that Venezuelan fighter jets have also been making incursions into Guyanese airspace in the past few days, all while our president and vice president were outside of the country. Now I come back to my point about that not being the wisest move. This is not over Essequibo. Ana Catarina is not on the western side of the Essequibo River. It's on the eastern boundary. So that's quite a deep incursion. The Venezuelans are definitely flexing their muscle. And I'll tell you something else about their Air Force. These planes here had the Brazilians scared. The last time there was a check, the Venezuelans had some better planes than the Brazilians. For those of you saying that, well, the Brazilians are going to come to our rescue, definitely they can they could ramp, as we did say in Guyana. They are armed. Not all of the Venezuelan fleet is operational, but they have more than enough aircraft that are battle ready and maintained to launch an attack on Guyana. The Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana was quoted on the 12th of November as saying that there's no way Venezuela would invade or attack Guyana, even if the results of this vote on the referendum were yes. Okay, he also excused the fact that there were aircraft coming into Guyanese territory by saying that they were monitoring illegal gold mining. So what illegal gold mining is going on in Ana Catarina? Even though the ICJ have ruled that Venezuela must not take action to gain ownership of the Essequibo, Venezuela has already clapped back by saying they don't recognize the jurisdiction of the ICJ or their right to even hear this case in the first place, and they're going ahead. And I told you guys we've had a very long time to prepare for this. This didn't just appear out of nowhere. In 2021, on March 4th, we reported another 2 fighter jets flying over our airspace. As a matter of fact, I've got a friend that told me the other day when he was a kid in Linden, he remembers seeing Venezuelan fighter jets coming over our airspace, and sometimes I'm painting the color of the Venezuelan flag in the sky. I never heard about that until like a few months ago. You guys tell me what you know in the comments. Have you ever seen something like that? The Guyanese public continue to be placated by being told that you should not panic, don't worry, everything is going to be just fine. But let me tell you something. Even if, as the ambassador says, Venezuela chooses not to attack Guyana following a yes vote on this referendum, and based on their rigged system, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be a yes vote, okay? So if they go ahead, they get the yes vote, and then they sit on that yes vote, then we're actually in a more dangerous position, because the government would now be armed with the will of the people. They would now have documentation that shows that yes, at any point they are ready to launch a military surprise attack on Guyana, they have the vote. People have said yes to it. Okay, so it doesn't put us in a better position. And these things they're saying about oh, they're not going to attack us. Why then? Why has the U.S. just donated? U.S. Southern Command just donated a field hospital to Guyana worth $1.1 million US. A field hospital, the kind of mobile, deployable hospital you might need for casualties. They said for disaster preparedness. I can only think of one disaster that is likely ahead of us. As fighter jets were flying over our airspace and military helicopters, the sorts that carry troops, were flying over Ana Catarina and the rest of the west coast, our president and vice president were in Dubai, letting the people know about our low carbon development strategy, about sustainable jobs, agriculture, and, you know, talking about the $200-something million we got from Norway, the fact that Hess gave us $700-something million, basically, you know, drumming up support. And now our 2 most senior leaders and commander-in-chief have to fly home without any local air superiority and worry about these jets flying around in our airspace, and the helicopters I showed you earlier, among many other weapons in the Venezuelan arsenal. So those of you telling people not to panic, not to make preparations, not to make sure they got food provisions, make sure they got little money on hand, make sure they got the documents, and then make sure they got enough food in the house. Y'all might want to, let me make sure I get it. Y'all might want to tone it down a little.